I was looking at the numbers here because I was curious because obviously Mike McDaniel, high-powered offense, that's what he kind of brings to this MO. I looked in the Mike McDaniel era, that was the lowest scoring output in the Mike McDaniel era. They haven't scored that low since week 2020, week 17 of 2021 when they scored 3 points to the Tennessee Titans. Today they scored 7 points. When we played them earlier on the season was 14. I think that was their tie for the lowest scoring output of the season. And then tonight, 7 points. I mean, what do you think of just because we usually leave the show with offensive miscues and stuff. Let's just talk defense for right now. Sure. What did you see tonight defensively? Because I mean, this was just domination, hard hitting, hard smack, and a team that came to play in this weather.
What I saw, man, I seen Spags put together a brilliant game plan against this offense. And so I think that's really the testament of it is when you have weapons around on the defensive side of the ball that can play like Sneed, like McDuffie, the secondary, the linebackers, Chris Jones, Karlaftis, Chris Menahu, that all of that transpired to what you've seen what Miami wasn't able to do. And so they went in, they challenged each and every receiver. They gave different looks to Tua, where he didn't necessarily get comfortable. And even when he was getting comfortable, he wasn't necessarily seeing guys open because our guys were just that tight coverage. It was a lot of lockdown coverage from our defense. I know we don't really talk too much about defense on our show because they do such a good job. Everybody sees it, right? I mean, we just give them the accolades and the high praise, but for a game like this, it's well deserved to show what they have been doing, getting the turnover as well. Mike Edwards, and so they've been playing great ball all season. We've said this. We said when Patrick was talking about this, but we also said this too, Marcus. If you're scoring a certain amount of points, you're going to win the game. Bottom line. And I was just looking at that number, right? I was just telling you the number is going to be 24. 24 is the number for us to win. And so we got that. The defense delivered, but they got the one deep pass to Tyreek, and that was it. That was the only thing they had. It was the only thing they had. So the guys up front did a masterful job making sure that the running backs didn't get any lanes. The linebackers did a good job tackling and hitting those guys so they didn't get no extra yards. But everybody, man, just was locked in and focused to play a very high-powered offense. And like I said before, they knew what the task was. The weather played a little bit into it. I just, to be honest with you, I would have went back maybe to Tyreek throwing a couple of deep balls. I mean, I would have, shoot. What's going to hurt? What's going to hurt? But I think, because of what we did defensively, man, we kind of had them shook. So that's what I was seeing.
Teja, what did you notice from, everyone's talking about George Karlaftis' game, Sneed doing what he did, McDuffie. Obviously, McDuffie was the one covering Tyreek on the touchdown, but, he made up for it with some of these thumps that he had tonight. But what did you make of what you saw from the defense today?
Outside of that 53-yard catch, Tyreek Hill had 4 for 9. That is crazy. That is – you know what? If you were to tell me Tyreek will catch a bomb against you, but he'll have under 10 yards the rest of the game, I would probably say, all right, I'll take it. So good exchange for me. We learned our lesson really early before things got out of hand. So we readjusted. Sneed was punishing Hill at the line. There was that one. They didn't show a replay of it, which I got really upset about. That one where he just nailed Tyreek to the ground, and Tyreek hated it and tried shoving back afterwards. I didn't replay it, but man, that was money. And honestly, we should have had more sacks than just 2 all game, which is pretty crazy. But Tua was trying to get rid of that ball so fast, and he just looked rough, man. He just looked, there was that glove story during the week, and then he wasn't going to wear a glove anymore. It's funny, you watch us, it didn't look like it was cold for us, and it looked like it was negative 10, 20, 30 for the Dolphins. Tua had no zip on that ball. I don't know if that was weather related. I don't know if you're a baseball fan, JD, but that looked like Greg Maddux in one of his last seasons throwing a fastball, man. He had nothing on.
Yeah, love Maddux. Yeah.
It was just, I love him too. But it was just hanging up there, man. Even like on like quick passes, you thought we just zip. It was like take forever, and his receivers are getting hit hard because of that.
That Joker looked cold on the sideline when he was sitting up. Just every time you just all the way up to here, his eyes was cold. You can see his eyeballs were cold. That Joker was ready.
It was so cold that it degraded the quality of the helmet.
What?
That it chunked off. The helmet. Chunked off.
Oh yeah.
It was so cold that it lowered the quality of the friggin' helmet.
Yeah, right. yeah, man. I think what you were just saying that about Tua. It just balls are just kind of selling on him. But I think that goes into where the weather is a factor where you're not able to squeeze the ball like you want to and kind of get the ball out. And so if you don't have that, and also our defense played really well as far as catching the quick screens, right? The little quick passes, they were right there. They just played just challenging competitive ball. The one time, did y'all see when Sneed put Tyreek Hill on the ground?
Yeah.
The jam?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, we talking about bully ball. Like Sneed and the DBs just basically owned the wide receivers. They really did. They owned them. So
I should have rewatched the first game from the year before we watched this game. I didn't see it. I mean, was there a much different approach than they had in the first game? It seemed like they just kind of carried on to do the same thing. Those screens didn't work in the first game either. I don't even know why they brought them back and did that again. They were getting killed on those, dude. Those weren't even close.
Yeah, no. I think it was just, get your hands on them quick and early and stay physical. And so if you see a guy like that back up, then immediately attack. And that's what you have to do with those guys. You can't give quick guys space. You just can't. You can't do it. And so the more space that Waddle, or Tyreek has, that's to their advantage. Advantage. And so, bottle them as quick as possible.
It all started with stopping the run, though. If they had a decent run game, they could have played the play action a lot more, and they just couldn't because it wasn't going anywhere. So it just didn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins just looked. I'm looking at the rushing right now. So Raheem Mostert, 8 carries, 33 yards. And I know he was banged up going into this game. I mean, he was generally banged up all season with the questionable tag every week, it would seem like. Jalen Waddle, he had to carry one for 9. A-Chain, 6 carries, 9 yards. And I knew A-Chain's a kind of a finesse kind of guy. I did not think this kind of weather was going to be suitable for him to kind of go off on us this week. And then Tua had his biggest rushing performance of the season, I believe. I think he had his longest run of the season for 14 yards in this game, but 3 carries, 25 yards, which I was actually, I don't watch a lot of Tua games. I didn't have him in fantasy. I don't really watch him a lot, but I didn't realize he wasn't much of a rusher or a runner from a quarterback's point. Usually smaller type guys, they can get out of the pocket a little bit. He doesn't really do much of that.
He has the ability to do it, but because he has, very dependable backs that can, he doesn't have to. Now, I think to be honest with you, that's probably to their demise. To be, not to utilize his legs.
Yeah,
because it's another weapon when you have a runner as a quarterback. Can at least get you, a couple of yards here and there. That kind of keeps the defense, somewhat honest. And so they have to come up and kind of play as opposed to sitting back there in coverage. But I think, like you and kind of going to like the play action. If the running game is not effective, then I would tell the linebackers, first thing you do is play pass first, then come up for the run. I mean, that's what you do. I think, that their game is the passing game. It is that kind of getting vertical, trying to get, the holes behind the linebackers. You just got to stay, really, responsible in your assignment, not to go for it, and just hope all the guys up front are just, take 1, take 2. That's what you have to do. So now defense, man, shoot, I'm telling you, if they play like this and they continue to play like they've been playing like it all year, I don't know why they wouldn't continue playing like that. This is a real shot, man, of getting another Super Bowl. Seriously. I mean, I don't see anybody else. When we do that, man, we playing with the best of them. And like you said, we've been going left and right with the best receivers in the game and been shutting everybody down, every single person down.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And at what point are we going to call Mike Edwards the Dolphins killer? Because, I mean, this guy, he was the one who had the lateral to Cook on that touchdown in that Germany game. And today he comes with that pick. Almost had another pick right before halftime. I mean, yeah, he's just amazing. He's probably, and I know we said it earlier on in the season, how he was probably the most underrated signing we had this offseason. The 1 year, $3 million deal. And everyone loved the Tranquil pickup. But Mike Edwards has been, especially with the injuries we've had in the safety room, that pickup was invaluable.
Yeah.
I think it was our best free agency maybe of Veach's tenure.
Are you talking about the value aspect of it? Like
just how important they were. Tranquil, Edwards, Omenahu. I mean, I guys from the past. I mean, I know I'm speaking out of my ass right now, but
no.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, they were. I mean, Tranquil has been huge for us this year, especially with both missing games.
I would say the three guys that we got deals on this year who have been starters or somewhat semi-starters is Tranquil, Mike Edwards, and Donovan Smith. I mean, all three of those guys.
The other one.
Those guys have done a tremendous job the entire season.
What's funny is that those four guys' salaries don't equal what our biggest signing of the offseason was, and we didn't even name him, by the way. So isn't that funny?
Yeah,
we were talking about value signings, though. I mean,
If anything, I mean, the grade goes down when you consider Taylor's signing.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.